Government scientists yesterday doubled their estimates of the amount of oil gushing from the damaged BP well. Now they say up to 40,000 barrels of oil may be spilling into the Gulf every day.
And the spill is sparking a wave of protests at BP gas stations and igniting an online frenzy. Fox News correspondent Courtney Friel is here with details. Hey, Courtney.
Good to see you. Yeah, and what's interesting is that BP is actually spending at least $10,000 a day with Google and Yahoo to try to be the #1 search term so they can control the message. But obviously everyone's really angry. So I have 4 sites I want to tell you about where people are taking their frustrations. BoycottBP.org, that's the website and a Facebook page. They say you got to boycott BP stations, Arco stations, also castor oil products, and the Wild Bean Cafe, which is BP's coffee brand line that actually services like 12% of coffee in America. And they say you got to do this until the legal disputes are settled, until the workers are paid, and until a testing plan to avoid future disasters like this comes up. But the problem with this is that there's all these franchise stations out there, so they're just contracted to use the BP oil, so it's actually hurting these small business owners.
So a small business owner decides to invest in a station and has BP on the label, and that's what they decide, like a McDonald's or a Subway. And they're paying the price now, correct? So now they're being protested, and they're saying, why? Because I'm working 90 hours a week trying to put gas and buy snacks for you guys and be able to give you ice?
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying still buy gas from these local stations. Another site is BP Global PR. That's a Twitter site. There's 150,000 followers. It's really funny. It's like snarky. It's a parody. You can go there. And Twitter was actually asked by BP to take the site down, and their snarky BP Global PR actually said Twitter wants BP to shut down the oil leak that's ruining the ocean.
I'm going to read one of these from BP Global PR. One of the tweets says a $75 million liability cap. That's too high. That only leaves us with $5.525 billion in profits for the quarter.
I know, it's funny. I've actually been following it, and they ask for you to come up with what BP stands for and do these billboards. I say check it out, but it is, making fun of a serious situation. Also, 1 Million Strong Against Offshore Drilling. This is a Facebook page. It's asking for you to give your name, email, and zip code to sign this petition to the President and Congress to demand a permanent ban on offshore drilling. And then, also, I don't know if you know that tomorrow is the Worldwide BP Protest Day, and 48 cities around the world have decided to sign on to this and have these protests outside of BP stations, in the U.S., in France, in South Africa, in Brazil, everywhere. And
by the way, BP
you can go and start your own. They're asking you to, bring signs, invite your friends, start your own protest if your city doesn't have one.
Just keep in mind, too, when you're out there protesting, that 30,000 or between 30 and 40,000 Americans are employed by BP. And when you talk about banning offshore drilling, you're talking about putting tens of thousands of people out of work around the country. Is that what you really want to do?
That's a whole issue in itself.
Right. Make a very good point,
the same
Brian.
issue.
Your point on the BP station owners, some are individual owners, some are company owned. You can find out if they are or not. Just walk in and say, is this a dealer, which is an individual owner, or is this a company-owned station?
Oh, that's good.
Make your choice.
Just ask a question. That's good. Thanks, Courtney.
Nice to see you guys. Happy Friday, everybody.